afternoon to all. It is my immense pleasure to welcome you all to this 3 days national level webinar on the role of programming languages in artificial intelligence and data science. As we begin this auspicious session, let us first seek the blessings of the Almighty with a prayer song. You can start. You can start, ma'am. Unmute is ma'am. You mute, ma'am.
Yes. Good afternoon to all. I first thank to God Almighty giving this position, and I thank to Dr. Gautam P. White, Secretary and Correspondent, and Malati, Principal, Dr. Mahalakshmi, HOD of Guru Sri Santi Vijay Jain College of Women, Chennai. I thank to permit me as a resource person for a 3-day national level webinar. A special thanks to Dr. R.D. Satya. She is a key instrument to me for the national 3-day national level webinar. I could deliver my content as best of my knowledge. It's a formal thank you. Now we'll move to that our content. Our topic is MATLAB in artificial intelligence techniques and tricks. MATLAB and AI. It is very vast content. Within 1 hour, I could deliver as much as possible. element. Before starting the session, I have a query regarding AI. I think you all watched an interview to Sophia. She says that answer for a particular question. I'm not programmed for your question. I'm asking you why it is happening. And as a human, like a behavior, what research need to complete the humanoid robot? That is a question. I'll meet you the question with the answer in the end of the session. I think my screen shared with you. I'll
Yes,
start
ma'am.
with AI. Yeah, thank you. What is an AI? How we can be defined AI? AI, the day by day, the AI has grown enormously. So we cannot give the standard format of the definition about AI. And what it has to do, it has to understand the data, learn the data, and apply the knowledge across the task. So it's behave like a human intelligence. So AI cannot be say that is one of the element is used for the task performing in various applications. So it includes the machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, computer vision. The machine learning, that is what it has to do, learn the data. Then deep learning uses the artificial neural network to process the complex data, such as images or text. And natural processing languages, it enables the computer to understand the natural languages and communication and interaction. And what it does to computer vision, it allows the user to see the interpret images and videos, like image recognition and image analysis. So these four things combined together, it can be defined the AI. Okay, where we can be applied AI, we cannot limit the application of AI in whatever the area. But nowadays, you people will not complete your degree without AI because you all engaged with the chat GPT or Copilot or Gemini. So everywhere, every location, the AI plays a major role. In specifically, how the AI plays a healthcare environment. So nowadays the doctors are mostly money minded. So we have a doubt. So the disease is correct. The diagnosis of the disease is correct. So that disease can be defined by our diagnosis of disease by the AI. Same that way, drug discovery, and nowadays the through the chatbot we have a personalized medicines, and now I have a MRI about my skull. Then I can have a doubt about that is it have a disease or not. That can be identified by the AI tools. It shows that where is the defected area. That can be done by the medical image analysis. Same the importance given to the finance. In finance, it move on to the traditional to digital marketing. So in here every money flows on the digital format. So same way, the fraud also increase. How can we define, how can we detect the fraud in that environment? It is nowadays we people are mostly buying the products from the online only. So the online shopping, the digital money flow is more increased. So the fraud also increased. That in things it can be identified by the AI. And
Excuse
also
me, ma'am.
customer
Screen
service
is not
automation.
moving.
Yes,
Ma'am,
visible.
slide is not moving. Slide is not moving. First slide only, sir.
Uh-huh. I think the first screen is shared by you. Am I right? The screen is shared. The first screen is shared by you, Mama Magalashmi. I stop sharing. Again, I give it the sharing. Is it okay now? The application of AI. Is it visible, ma'am? Am I audible? I think the screen is visible to you.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay. Okay. I continue from the finance for the help of AI, the fraud detection, and the risk assessment and algorithmic trading. Trading also one of the major role by using of the AI and customer service automation. When I search the product in the Flipkart, in after hour or after a day, which shows that what are all the reductions available, what are the facilities available to get the product. So it will shows that the customer service automations. In that way, also the AI plays a major role. Same that way, the transportation, no driver car. uh, when we are driving a car, we have to concentrate on front road track and side mirror and left side mirror and right side mirror and back side view. So, and also we have to concentrate on that driving. In that part of work can be done by other AI. That is what transportation, autonomous vehicle, and traffic management system. That we all are doing that one traffic management system when we are searching from one moving from one location to another location. We are finding that where is the route is free and which route is busy or which route is heavy traffic. That we can be find through that transportation of application AI. So, in earlier days, when we started studying about AI, artificial intelligence, it shows only the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. But nowadays, it includes the generative AI because generative AI plays a major role. What it is that artificial intelligence, it includes the machine learning includes the deep learning, and deep learning includes the generative AI. So generative AI is a part of the deep learning, and deep learning is part of the machine learning part of the, yeah, artificial intelligence. What it has to do, it has a lot of algorithms. It has to processing the data set and allowing from the machine to another processing, and then it give it the human understandable result by using of the supervised and unsupervised learning algorithms. Okay, now come to the machine learning. The machine learning can be categorized into two way. One is what, supervised learning, another one is unsupervised learning. The supervised learning means what? To have a, it have a some particular task performance. The supervised learning can do that market forecasting, and then weather forecasting, and then estimating the life expectancy, and also the population growth prediction. So these are all tasks performed by the supervised learning with the help of regression. Regression, which contains a set of algorithms, that is for linear regression, GLM, and Gaussian process. Same that with supervised learning, have a, one of another one task is another one technique is what, classification. The classification can perform the identity of fraud, and then image classification, customer reaction, and diagnosis. So these are all tasks performed by the neighbors and nearest neighbor algorithm and discriminant analysis. So we have supervised learning can be categorized into two. One is what, classification, another one is regression. Apart from that, we have a set of algorithm which can be done by the both classification and regression. That is what, SVM, that is support vector machine, and decision tree, ensemble methods, and neural networks. So supervised learning handling these algorithms. Here we will be in depth see by the classification algorithm, and then regression algorithm, and the SVN algorithm. And one more thing, it is what, unsupervised learning algorithms. Unsupervised learning algorithm performing the clustering concept and then dimensionality roadmap. The clustering will be performing of the customer segmentation, targeted the marketing, and recommended systems. The recommended systems, our day-to-day life, we had seen our notification, that is what recommended systems. And then big data visualization and meaningful compression and the structure of the discovery and future token. So these are all the tasks performed by the unsupervised learning concept of clustering, which contains a set of algorithms, k-means, k-metroids, fuzzy c-means, hierarchical, Gaussian mixer, and hidden Markov model. So our machine learning algorithm have a part of supervised and unsupervised learning, which includes the classification, regression, and clustering. What it has to do? Same that way, deep learning algorithm have a neural network concept. It has a set of algorithms. Here I am mentioning simple algorithms. That is what I call one of the major role is conventional neural network, a recurrent neural network, restricted Boltzmann machine, and transfer learning, classic neural network. And also it can contain the deep reinforcement learning, auto encoders, backpropagation, self-organizing maps. These are all the deep learning algorithms available to do performance by the large large data set. When it is in machine learning, which have a small data set can be performed. When it is in deep learning, it needs a large data set. So how it will be differ? When it is in machine learning, we are saying the data has to be processed by machine learning and deep learning. How it will be differ? Deep learning is machine learning subfield that uses a multiple layers of learning data representation. What is it in here? In machine learning, we can be give it an input as a car. The car features will be extracted by manually, and it go to that machine learning algorithm, which performs a classification of the features, and it gives output will be in the, if the device, the image is car or not. That is the output we are getting from the machine learning. So machine learning has processed the input, feature extraction, and classification. Finally, we have the result. In deep learning, we are giving the input to the deep learning algorithm. In here, the feature extraction cannot be separated. Feature extraction and classification are combined together, which forms a network layers that has to doing the extraction and doing the classification process. Finally, it gives a result. Is the image is car or not? That is the output you will get by the deep learning algorithm. Okay, we are saying that number of algorithms, machine learning and deep learning algorithms. How would the algorithm has processed? We need a data. What is the meaning of the data? Where we can be get it? The data can be labeled by in two ways. That is a thing I'm trying to explain. Labeled data, unlabeled data. That is a mean data in sense here. This is a data. Some of the emails having a label and what is the subject in that, and we are giving the label number. That is a data. So the data may be in the size of 1 GB or MB or KB. We have to give it to that algorithm. The algorithm will be performing processing of that. After that, it gets a result. So here the types of data will be categorized into one is what labeled data, another one is unlabeled data. The label data can be performing supervised learning. By that, it gives the result of classification and regression. What it has to do, it has a, if it is in label data, it has a tag. That doesn't mean what it gives us some special meaning of the data. It gives a tag name or category names. Then it gives a result of classification and regression. Same that way, unlabeled data used by the unsupervised learning, it does not give the any meaningful tag or label into that. And also it gives the result of the data. It is example of the labeled data. The data point is assigned a specific label or category. Here it is what email numbers are represented. After that, it has a label. It is a home mail or spam mail. That is labeled in here. Based on the home and spam, the label numbers are assigned. That is what, if it is in home mail, it is represented by the label number 0, and the spam is now label number is 1. So this is what our labeled data, which has to performed by manually. That is what we are putting effort to the data, changed into unlabeled data, changed into the labeled data by the labeling names. This is in here unlabeled data. The unlabeled data, in sense, it is a one of the data set which doesn't have any specific category, any specific label for the data. That is what unlabeled data. Here we can process both the things. How it will be processed? Unlabeled data, unlabeled data. When it is in unlabeled data, it is used in the unsupervised machine learning. It is in labeled data. It is performed by the supervised machine learning. So, in when it is in unlabeled data, it is observed that obtained by observing and collecting the data set. Here, the label should be done by the human or expert to annotate the about the data. And also, if it is an unlabeled data, it can be easily store and get retrieve the data. But it is in labeled data, it is expensive because it has to more time consuming to get and store the data. It is hard one, and used to pre-process the data set and also label data to be for complex predicting task. So these are all the difference between the unlabeled and labeled data. How it will be supervised learning gives the result of that data set. Initially, if the class in the classroom, the students may wear red color shirt or a blue color shirt. We can be get it that how many students want wear the red shirt or blue shirt. That we can be find out by the our classification algorithm. And also I have an on MRI, that MRI have some defection, so that effect is the disease identified or not. So the disease identified or no disease can be identified by the classification algorithm. And one more thing, the classification algorithm which gives the output variable is a category. But in the regression algorithm, it gives the output variable in a real value. That is, I mean, what the regression algorithm gives the value for dollars or weight or packages like that. It gives that. So the supervisory learning algorithm technique program gets the input, and the expected output will be in the form of classification and regression. That is the 2 points of result which shows by the supervised learning. Another one example for the supervised learning is whether the mail is spam or not. That is a finding fault in here. So machine to be trained to classify the observations to the by the for the data. That is in here. The mail, new mails are came. The machine learning, a supervised learning technique, finding that mail is a spam mail or not spam mail. That category separation to be done by the supervised learning, it shows that not spam and spam mail. This is one of the example for the classification by the supervised learning. Unsupervised learning is a type of machine learning which trained using unlabeled data set and are allowed to act on the data without any supervision. That doesn't mean what here I'm giving that input as a two dogs and two cats. These are not named by the cat and dog, but our algorithm and interpretation processing do that process and finding that who are all the dogs, who are all the cats. That is performed by the unsupervised learning technique of the clustering and association. The clustering
Excuse
instance
me,
it's combined together what case from
if slide is not moving, that slide is there.
which slide, ma'am?
Sixth slide is there. That only you are explaining, ma'am.
Fifth slide.
Sixth is there.
No, I moved into 13th slide.
Okay, the slide is not
13 or
moving,
14.
ma'am.
I have a doubt. I think it's moved. I want to continue from the sixth slide or I continue from the 13th slide.
13th itself continue.
13th slide. Okay.
Mm.
I think now it's okay.
Ah, yes, ma'am.
Okay. I give it that example for that email, which is find by the spam or not spam by using of the supervised learning classification algorithm. And unsupervised learning, it is type of mechanics techniques which is trained using the unlabeled data set and allowed to act on it without any supervision. Here I am giving input as a for animals like a dog and cat. The dog and cat not be labeled. It is unlabeled data. The interpretation and the algorithm and processing and processing steps can finding that classic clustering and association. So through the clustering, it will be combined the two dogs and it will be associated with the cats. So it is that unsupervised learning gives that output. Reinforcement learning in ML, which gets a clumsy of raw data, input data, which contains a different items. Here, the reinforcement algorithm make a major role, the environment and agent. The agent defining that selection of algorithm and gives that best action to that environment and the reward will be awarded to the state. And through this process, which has to finding the clustering of the each and every one. Here it is separated as three groups of coloring patterns. The pattern has to identified by the reinforcement learning in ML. So here we have some of the algorithms which have the defined diagrammatic representation. When it is in SVM, the support vector machine, which is vectors and points, we are giving the input as green and red like that. It will be separated by the borderline who are all red and who are all green. Same navy based algorithm which gives the probability distribution. The probability distribution defined by the normal distribution, normalization curve. In that, it represent the probability of the data. So we can be find through the frequency of the curve, then the probability will be identified. Then linear regression, logistic algorithm, it is a straight line and curve line representation. When the data is nearer to the straight line, that data are considered as a positive data. Same that curved line also. If it is in data it's not nearer to that slope line, that is a straight line, then the data is considered as a negative error data. And next one is k-means algorithm. The k-means algorithm will be forming the network by the central mean. Central mean, based on the mean value, the nodes are connected. It is nearer to the k nearest to neighbor algorithm. It forms a network by the nearing the nodes. Nearer points of the nodes will be connected one together. Decision tree, which forms a tree structure. Based on the tree structure, it will be reflecting the data set. Same the neural network. The neural network, same network algorithm, which gives that input into that network. It form the hidden network layer, and it will be producing the output of the input. So these are all algorithms, sample algorithms available in here. How we are representing in the diagrammatic way. Now come to that artificial intelligence with the MATLAB. So up to this, we are seeing what are all the algorithms available, how the data will be labeled, then what are all the labeling data can used for that algorithms. So that data will be applying into the MATLAB. Here it is MATLAB is a powerful programming scientific computing. Early days in 90s and 90s and all, we the computer science people is not eligible to use a MATLAB because the MATLAB contains the so many built-in functions. So as a computer science students, we have to write a line by line coding. So there is a neglection. We people, computer science people, not able to use a MATLAB. But nowadays, MATLAB plays a major role because of the AI. AI have a processing, that is what artificial intelligence development, which contains a various tools. The tools are helps to train the data, build the data, and deploy the AI models from the machine learning algorithm to deep learning algorithm. It is MATLAB is very flexible and comprehensive platform for the AI explanations. So the MATLAB is represented by the matrix laboratory, and it is a high-level programming language. We have a low-level language, machine-level language. So it is a high-level programming language. It is a interactive environment. And here, do the performance of the numerical computation and visualization and programming. What are the tasks performed by the MATLAB? Here, using the MATLAB, we can be analyze the data and visualize the data. Visualization is a major role in nowadays. So, and also the modeling and simulation. It creates a model and simulate the system like a control system and communication and finance systems. And also the algorithm development. Most of the engineers and scientists are using the MATLAB to develop and test the algorithms by their task. And machine learning and AI, it provide the tools and functions for the developing machine learning and deep learning intelligent applications. So MATLAB, which includes the functions of data analysis and visualization, algorithm development, modeling and simulation, machine learning, and AI. What are the toolbox available for performing the AI? That is what deep learning toolbox, image processing toolbox, statistics and machine learning toolbox, automated driving toolbox, computer vision toolbox. So various toolbox available. We can do the performance in efficient way. First that we have to prepare our MATLAB environment. For that we have install the deep learning toolbox or a machine learning tool. What are the data? What are the data we are having? If it is an image, then we have to do the image processing toolbox. If it is an automated driving processing data set, then we have to do the automated driving toolbox. Same, we have to install and then explore that project by using the various showcasing deep learning application and techniques. So followed by we have to opt that our data storage. The data storage may be a local or cloud, that we have to arrange it. Then organize and manage your data set efficiently. Importing and processing the data. First, you have to load the data into the MATLAB from the various sources like files or database or web apps. And then one of the major role when it is in data set, it contains so many noises and missing data. The noise should be removed and missing data should be taken care of and transform the data into models. So these are all things can do before processing the data. So clean and pre-process. After that, after cleaning the data, when it is an uncleaned data, that is, I mean, the data contains some noise, unrelevant data set. If we are having a 1 MB of data, that data set contains a numerical value. If it is combined alphanumeric value, then it is what? Nice data. Same thing, in corona period, we are collecting the data set for child affected corona patients. When collecting the child affected data set, if it contains the aged people data set, that is what our noise is into that data set. So we have to verify and check the data set and remove the noise and missing the handling of the missing data and transfer the data into model performance. After that, it move on to that split the data training and test the data, and then separate the data for training and testing, evaluating your model. So after that, building the machine and deep learning models, we have to choose the network architecture. The how the network architecture to be chosen depends on the data set. When it's the image analysis, we go for conventional neural network or recurrent neural network for sequential data. Same that way, after constructing the neural network architecture, then we have moved on to the defining the layers. The layers with the specific parameters and activation function, filters and neurons. Finally, we have to setting up the training parameters, including learning rate and optimizer and echoes, optimizer model performance. So these are all the three things to be building by the machine and deep learning models. And training and evaluating in the model, the train the model and monitor the training progress and evaluate the test data. That does mean what? Our data training to be model iteratively update its weights and using gradient descent, and monitoring the track metrics like loss accuracy and validation performance to be monitored in the progress time. Evaluation of the test data, assess the model generalization ability by evaluating its performance on unseen data, test data. Then optimizing model performance, hyperparameter tuning, and regularization techniques, data augmentation. These are all the three factors to by the optimizing model performance. Optimizing which gives the best performance in the result. Deploying MATLAB machine, it may be a MATLAB app or web services or embedded system. How it will be working of the machine learning with the deep learning in the MATLAB. Deep learning neural network, transfer learning, GPU acceleration. The MATLAB support the creation and training of the deep neural networks, including conventional neural network for image processing, recurrent for the sequential data. In the more MATLAB deep learning toolbox provide the user-friendly interface for designing the model. Same that way, transferring learning allows to leverage the pre-trained data learning models, enabling faster, more efficient model development. This techniques involves the transferring knowledge learning from the large data set to new tasks. That doesn't mean what we have a data set, that large data set moved into the some particular task based data set. The significantly improves the, when we are doing this way, it will be improves the result in better way. Another one of the AI concept is computer vision MATLAB. In the right side of the diagram, which shows the highlighted representation of the images. So each and everything to be noted. That is in here, computer vision in MATLAB, image acquisition, image pre-processing, feature extraction, object detection, and recognition. When it is in image acquisition, import and process the image from various sources. It may be a camera, files, or online repositories. So that data and the images has to be read and write and manipulate the images on a different format. What are the formats available? We have to do the format. And then pre-processing, it provides the functions for image resizing, cropping, noise reduction, contrast enhancement. So these are all the steps helps to our image to be in the efficient way. After doing that image pre-processing, we'll have a efficient result. The subsequent processing, feature extraction will do in the better way. Another one is feature extraction. When it is in car, if you need to find the headlight of the car, then extraction will be done by the marker on the highlighted area. That is, MATLAB offers algorithm for extracting features from the images such as edges and corners and textures. It will be used for the object recognition, particular object recognition and image classification for other tasks. Same thing way, object detection recognition. The Vision Toolbox provides the algorithm for detecting and recognizing objects in the images. This enables the application like a face recognition, pedestrian detection, and scene understanding. So, computer vision in MATLAB used to finding these four options. One is what image acquisition, image pre-processing, and feature extraction, object detection, and recognition. Same that way, natural language processing in MATLAB, which has to performance of text analysis, language modeling, and speech recognition. Nowadays, without speech recognition, we people are not getting the answer from the Chat GPT or Google. So the text analysis allows the analyze the text, including sentiment analysis, topic modeling, and then functions for text pre-processing, tokenization, and feature extractions are also available in the MATLAB. Using of the tokenization, pre-processing, feature extraction, which helps to analyze the text. Same that way, language modeling, it we can train the models to predict the next word or sequence of word in a sentence. So, whenever we are typing email or chat GPT, it give the next word of that our content. So that has to done by the language modeling. That doesn't mean what? It train the models to predict the next word or sequence of the word in the sentence. That is what text generation and missing translation. Nowadays, the NPTEL exam, NPTEL content has to converted into, I think it is a 27 languages. 27 languages. How it will be performing? The Google Translator, which is automatically translating the video content into text format. That has to language modeling and speech recognition. MATLAB offers a tool for speech recognition, allowing you to convert spoken words into text. Nowadays, we all doing by that our searching content by the speech recognition. This technology used for application voice assistants such as Alexa, dictation software, and speech to text interfaces. Various locations, the speech recognition will be helpful. So, natural language processing in MATLAB will be helpful in the nowadays our AI deployment. MATLAB for the AI workflow. What are all the work for doing the AI by using the MATLAB? Data acquisition preparation, so model selection and training, evaluation and optimization, deployment and integration. These are all the four steps performed by the MATLAB for AI workflow. So import the data from the various sources. It has to cleaned, pre-process, and prepare it for training models. And next one, appropriate machine learning or deep learning algorithm for train them in a prepared data set. Third one is what? Evaluate the model performance, identify the areas of improvement, and fine tune the hyperparameters. Finally, deployment and integration. The trained models into real world application. It integrates the other systems. It may be prove that monitoring performance. Now comes to that MATLAB representations. We have in basic level MATLAB. That's why I'm giving into that mathematical functions, matrix array operations, plotting functions, statistical function, and logical functions. We know that mathematical function which include the sign of x. In the early days, we had to perform what the sign of x doing on that. That calculation we had to do in step by step. But in MATLAB, which gives a single line answer, we'll execute that one. And same that way, matrix and array operations. When it is an 2 into 2 matrix addition or matrix multiplication, we have writing line by line that it goes 3 or 4 pages, but it concludes at a single line. It gives a result of that matrix operations. And plotting the functions, it may be a line plot or 2D or 3D, and space plot, whatever plotting available. We have so many plotting functions available. And statistical analysis helps to finding the mean and median value, and also standard deviation value, the variations of the array value. The data science and data scientist will do the operations of the statistical function. Without data science, without knowing of the variance and standard deviation, mean and median, the data scientist will not be completed. The logical function, it gives a true or false result. It is a any of x and a find of x. It checks if the element is x is true, and then it is available or not. That non-zero element is available or not. I'll move to that MATLAB. Little bit MATLAB execution. After that, resuming here. I think my screen is shared with you. It is a MATLAB R2024A. Am I visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
It's okay. It is a very basic information about the MATLAB. It is a trial version. I'm downloaded. It takes a 3 GB of memory. In the MATLAB can be having a 150 GB. When it is in server based MATLAB application, then it is a 150 GB is also available. In our system, so I just downloaded for 3 GB MATLAB. In here we having a menu that we all know about as a computer science students, and here that is what current folder, which folder you are working, which will be displayed by the current folder. Then next one is what command window. The command window can able to work. That is through the command window we can also work. That is what we are now. I am giving x is equal to 5. It shows that x is equal to 5, and I am giving y is equal to some value. Then I am doing addition performance x plus y, which gives the result of that. Okay, so it is a simple operations can be performed by the command window. Same that way, we can use the functions in here. That is what we are having a so many files in here, that if you are doing lengthy programs, the functions we can be using the script. The script can be available in the new script. Just clicking on the new script, it will be shown in here. It is will be in the untitled format. We have to change the name as in the saving prompt. In same that way, here we have a left corner. It is a workspace which contains the what are all the data we are handling in here, command window or a script window editor. Then it will be holding the data. It's here that diamond, that is what c d data file d. These are all the variables which contains the data. When you are clicking the data, which shows what are all the data available. Here is a the k value has a 5 and x value is 5, and now I am giving d values are somewhat 1.73. Like that it will be store the data. It is a workspace. If we are missing the data, we can be get it from the workspace. The data will be available when you are when you are doing research. That time if you are missing the data, then we can be get it from the workspace, that the data will be available. Okay, see here xy, that is what the value of value, that is how it will be coming on the x is equal to, I am giving x is equal to 1 colon 10, which gives that, I think it is visible, 1 2 3 4 5 up to 10 numbers. Again I am giving y is equal to 11 colon 20. So it will be stored as an array of data, that is 11 to 20. I can do that addition operation, x plus y, which shows the result of it is what are all the value in here. X it is 1, and then y value is 11, which shows a 12. Same that way, 12 plus 2, that is 30, 14. See, it's a relevant array locations which will be stored, and finally it gives the result. So these data are stored in that workspace. Same here, see, now I am accessing the y value. It is what 12, 11, 12, 13, and then xy value. X value is 11, 12, and then Y value is 11, 12, and X value is, see, 1 to 10. I think visible to you. So simple operations can do by our command prompt. Earlier days we are not able to do the square root function in a single line, but after came into that MATLAB, we can do it by sqrt of 23. I'm giving, which gives the result of sqrt of 23, which gives the result of 4.71. Same mean value can be calculated by single line mean of x. Then it gives the average mean value instance, that is the average value. What are all the data in here? X it contains the 1 to 10. Then added the 10 terms and the dividing by 10, that is the mean value calculated in a fraction of second. It is what here? 5.5. Same that way. We can do in simple operation. It in MATLAB especially used for the visualizing our data. I'll show you some of the example program for you. See here, the value x and y is given, and we have to plot the curve by sine wave. Just give it on that command line. Here is what x is equal to 0 to 0.1 to 20. So the value is 0, starting value is 0 and ending value is 20. In middle, the point 1 is incremented. So that x value sine of x sine of 0 is assigned to y value, and plotting the x and y, which gives that sine wave. Am I right? I think it is visible to you all. It is a sine wave generation. Like that, we have so many graphical representations is available. We can use a for loop and for our processing. If you are not convenient to that command window, we can use uh, the editor window in here. See, here is the one of the example coding for MATLAB. Here is x is equal to random number generation of 1000 in the increment of 2. Then a comma b as a variable that is represented by the grid mesh wire grid, and grid points a started with, B ending with. That is a colon representation. A is started with and B is ended with. Then plot of x, y, the x is equal to colon to 1, x is equal to 2, and dotted by the dot lines. That is plotting the grid points from 0, from 2. It is a marker size. When I run this coding, why it is want to change the folder when I save the file, it is in the prompt location, so it wants to change that folder. That is a made current folder. See, it is what grid points about that points which is started from the random number representation of 1000 to 2. That is the random number representation of grid point representation. Same that way we have so many simple concept for execution. Same random number generation, which plots the a1 to a2, the figure, which gives the result of the what we are giving peaks value of x and y. What are all the value reaching the peak value, that is represented in here. See, when I go and click into that, the peak value is showed by x, y, z. When it is in wherever you want to click, the data will be shown by in the xy in terms of x, y, z. I think it is understandable to you what I am doing in here. So simple programs are executed by using the editor. And then group scatter, it's already executed to you. So another one example, here I am giving the A is a 3 value and B is equal to A into A and C is equal to A cube, and finding of D square root of A. These values by using displayed by the F printf statement. So when I run this statement, see here is the result in command window. Here it is what 3 square equals to 9, that is f print of square equals to a comma b, that is what 9, and then for cube equals to a comma c, that is a value is 3 and cubic value is 27, and also the square root of 3 is 1.732. The square root of 3 value is that what is what 1.731. I think it is understood for you. Same that whenever if we need uh, algorithm, that is coding in here, we just click it on here like the current folder, it will shows that program, then we can go to the run. Same that way we can do it by step process, which will be assigning a equal to, and next one b will be calculated, and then next step it is what c will be calculated, and then d will be calculated. Further prints the ab and ac and ad. Up to that level it shows the result of that coding. Okay, and these are all the very basic things I had run. And next one is how the algorithm will be performed by using the MATLAB. Is my screen is shared?
Yes, ma'am. Now PPT what, ma'am?
Yes, yes, yes. It's the same thing. I'm here giving that sample MATLAB coding, assigning X value as a random generation value from the limits of 1002, and assigning A as B and the best grid of operation. It already I executed. Again, I explained to you, plotting the grid points and then grid the points up to XR and marker size is 6. Another one example, defining coefficient A value is 3, 2 and E 3, 2 and 1, 2 and B value is 5 and 5. Solve the equation. Here it is what backslash operation, which is a right operation of the division. That is a right operation instance. It gives the bit operations performance. It gives the values of solution into 2.5. Now comes to the classification algorithm. Say here, one of the famous Fisher's iris data set that is taken for our classification process. Here, the data have the column names of sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width for the 150 iris specimens. Here is the example for iris flower classification. Iris flower, which one is considered as a petal and which one is considered as a sepal. The petal and sepal length and width to be considered as a data for our classification. There are 50 specimens from the each of the three specimen spices. We have to load the data and how the sepal measurements differ from the between the spices. We can do that by two columns containing sepal measurements. This is the example for our image. From that, we are taking the data set. This is a image. From that image, we are getting the data. That is what we are having a 150 iris specimens. From that, we are taking 50 specimens for our analysis. Okay, this is what our iris flower classification model. In here, we have to load the Fisher Iris. The Fisher Iris is our image, that is data set which contains the name of the Fisher Iris, and we need a figure. It will be assigning as EF. Here, there is a diagram for scatter diagram. The GS scatter means started from the one up to one and means of two, and it will be represented by the RGB. It is, we know that that is RGB, red, green, blue representation, and OST format. Here it is a left side X label and the right side is Y label with the name of sepal length and then sepal width. So here the graph considering the length and width of the sepal. You can also do it by the another one is what is it, petal length and petal width is also available. So here what it is representing the graph, what is the algorithm we are doing in here? Classification in sense we have to separate, we have to group the data items, relevant data items to be grouped. That is what a classification. Here the red color representation values and the green color and blue color are grouped together. That is a classification performed by using of the dataset Fisher Iris and the scatter visualization. Simple linear regression, it is what predicting response in a single feature, which gets the one input, one output, and two variables to be in the linear related. The variable should be one dependent variable, but the independent variable. So two of them related, linearly related, and we have to find the linear function that predicts the response value of y, and in the feature of the independent variable x, it may be a multiple linear regression attempts or model relation between the more features. So linear regression can be performed by the data set of accidents. So the data set which contains the accident peoples, it the load accident data in y variable and state the population at population data in x variable. So we have two variables. One is what population of state, and another one is what population accidents per state. Or every state have a accident that will be represented by the y value, and what is the population of state will be represented by the x value. So we are loading the variable data set into x and y. Format the long representation, and then began to do performance of the B1. B1 is calculated, that B1 will be x slash y. That is the division operation of that uh, x divided by y. Then y cal c, that is B1. The calculation of by will be multiplied by x value. X and y value used to plot the scatter. That is what plot x comma y cal c. So x label the population of state, Y label fatal traffic accident per state. And the title of the graph is linear regression, relationship between the accident and population. It is in here. What is it? It is a linear regression. So linear regression instead, it should be slope. It should be slope or curved line. Here it is representation of slope line. The slope line should be relevant to our data. So what are all the data closer to the line, that data are considered to be a positive data. When it is in data in the location of 2 and 50, the 1.5 to 3000, and then 3500, then 2 to 3500, these data are considered to be a negative data. So these are all error in here data set. So we considering the line who are all on the line, that is a positive data. Here that is value is calculated, the accident per the y cal c from the x using the relation visualize the regression by plotting the actual values of y and calculated values of y cal c. This is a graph representation of the relationship between the accidents, the state accidents and population state by using of the linear regression algorithm. Okay, now move on to that. Another one, it is what same data set used to buy SVM, that is support vector machine model. Support vector machine model helps to finding that two features in the binary classification. That is what here is y and x. The graphical representation gives that value of x and y. It trains a SVM model with the radial balance within the RBF kernel. It predicts the class label for the training data set and plots the data points and support vectors. SVM will performing that training model, training the data set, and then with support vectors helps to do the performance of the visualization. So the SVM load the data set and then performing the classification and training of the SVM and plotting the data by the decision boundaries. Based on the boundary, the data set will be categorized, visualized into that. SVM model helps to do that. Support vector machine model helps to do that one. Another one of that algorithm is same Fisher iris data set, which considering here earlier, which shows the sepal length and width. Here it is what a petal length and width by using the k-means clustering. So k-means clustering, SVM, and regression algorithm all are come under the machine learning algorithms. So k-means clustering, here it is k value is assigned as a number of clusters. Based on the clustering, it will be forming the data in nearer data to that. So here plotted the clustered data figures, scatter points on there, then plotting by the title k means clustering, petal length, petal width. Overall, the data nearer to the k value, which will be formed the graphical representation. Here is the representation of petals, Fisheries iris data, petals width and petals length. That is what performing k-means clustering. Data set is loaded and select the petal length and width of the clustering. And k-means clustering used to partition the data into k clusters. K cluster instance, that is a three group of clusters which is formed by the data set. It turns the cluster indicates IDX and the centroid location. So the k-means clustering algorithm will be performing by the centroid locations. So nearer to the centroid locations will form together one cluster. That is what in here representation of the graph. They plot the result. The GS scatter function used to plot the data points colored by the cluster interaction. The centroid will help to find the graph. Another one is what it is a deep learning algorithm, conventional neural network algorithm. Magalashmi ma'am, may I continue because our time limit is there?
No problem, ma'am. You can continue, ma'am.
Okay. Another one of the algorithm is DL algorithm. That is a very major algorithm, conventional neural network algorithm. The neural network architecture for the DL learns directly from the data used for finding the patterns in the images, recognize the object and classes. Here is the operation to be performed by. We are giving the car into that. It will be conventional RLU methodology used to finding the polling the data or where are the data points available. It will be collected by the conventional RLU polling, and then it will be flattened and fully connected. The network will be formed by the classification. Here it is what are the features available by collected. The features are collected by the convolution and RLU methods, and then after that it will be classified grouping formed by the classification. That is the data should be flattened and then fully connected and soft matrix, and finding that a car, truck and van, what are all the devices in there which will be identified. The neural network will form the network. That is in here input image, whatever the image were collected, that will be converted into the matrix format. The matrix in sense, here it is one representation of the data value, zero is the representation of null value. That in zero maybe the grayscale value. It is an input image. It gives the conventional layer. The conventional will be happening and polling will be polling layer. You send it to the polling layer, and with the help of RLU and flattening data will be sent it to the fully connected network. So the conventional neural network will form the network with the help of the conventional layer and polling layer, and then these two operations will help to form a network layer. So the networks are connected by everyone. That is what the coding is get from the GitHub. That is a website application. Here it is CNN performance. First load the data into that, and we have to display the some sample images, and split the data into training and validation sets. And we have to find earlier itself. I'm explaining that what are all the tasks performed by the CNN algorithm. Same procedure I am given here. Display some sample images, and then we have to load the data, sample images, get it from that, and split the data into training and validation test, and move on to the architectural layer. We have to form architecture by using of the conventional layer, and it comes from the classification layer, and specify the training options, train the network, and classify the validation images and calculate the accuracy. Through this process, you'll be getting the network formation DLL operation. That is what here the image is given, that is 3 into 3, 300 into 300 pixel image. That image need to be processed by the first layer, second layer, like that. And finally, the data link are flattened and dense and signal, which will be founded by our network, that is flattened, dense and vital neurons and signoids. It's formed by that or help of that. Here, using this method, using this conventional neural network, it has to finding some deduction into that image. Is there any image representations of that? It will be finded. I think it was ended into that MATLAB. Uh, and I'm already told you that I have one question in the initial part. How the human like behavior will ended up, what is the research going on, how the robot answering that I am not programmed for your question. That is a Sophia tells that one. So what is the research going on there? Our brain have a lot of neurons. uh, when I raise my hand, the rising hand operation to be performed by the instruction getting the which neuron, that is a research going on. So when it is found, then human like a robot, that humanoid robot will be easily developed. So that is a work going on there. Which neuron is activated for a particular task? If it is find, the neuron function is unable to find till now. uh, it's going on research, then I think it is nearer reach into that. When you find the neuron function, that robotic will also do like our behavior. It will not make mistake like a city robot, or Sophia telling that answer what I am not programmed for your question. So that is a research going on. When it reach into that, our human robot will be developed. So the MATLAB will help to that these type of performance by our variety of tools availability. It is a user-friendly interface. It contains a library functions, and it gives empower the research and practitioners to build and deploy the AI solution effectively. For machine learning and deep learning and computer vision, it offers a wide range of functionality to address the diverse in AI challenges. I think little bit I
Can
had
I say
completed. It's a vast,
vote of thanks? Can I say vote of thanks, ma'am?
yeah.
It's with great pleasure that I offer the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion of our webinar on MATLAB in AI techniques and tricks. First and foremost, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Kavita ma'am. Your dedication to sharing your extensive knowledge and expertise with us has been truly invaluable. The insights you provided into the intricacies of MATLAB and its applications in AI were both enlightening and inspiring. Your ability to break down complex concepts into understandable segments has greatly enhanced our understanding and appreciation of the subject. We are profoundly grateful for the time and effort you invested in preparing and delivering such an impactful presentation. Our sincere thanks also go to the Department of Computer Science with AI and Data Science for organizing this exceptional webinar. Your hard work and commitment in putting together this event have provided us with a fantastic platform for learning and exchanging ideas. I would like to acknowledge the significant contributions of our Secretary Sir, Dr. Gautam P. White, and our Principal Ma'am, Dr. M. K. Malati, whose unwavering support and encouragement were crucial in bringing this event to precision. Additionally, the dedication of the entire organizing committee deserves special mention. Your meticulous planning and coordination have been instrumental in ensuring the success of this webinar. To our enthusiastic participants, your active engagement and through and thought-provoking questions have greatly enriched the discussions. Your contributions have added depth and vibrancy to the event, making it a truly interactive and engaging experience. We are grateful for our involvement and hope that you found the sessions as valuable and inspiring as we did. Thank you once again for your presence and participation. Let us continue to stay connected, share knowledge, and foster growth together. It's time for National Anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much, ma'am,
Can I
for
end the
giving this
screen, ma'am?
opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.